Ace Transportation is basically an OTR company. They are basically the sister company of VL Trucking. Now, I had been working with VL Trucking, but recently switched over to the Ace side. Some of y'all guys, when you apply for VL, you might actually get put over on the Ace side. But again, you got to remember, this is basically no different. It is a technically new company, but think of it like this: mega carriers like US Express have sister companies, which are Total Express and Variant. I actually used to work for Variant, and Variant used to use the same DOT numbers or MC numbers as US Express itself. So there really isn't much difference from VL and Ace. They're just two different sister companies. That's it. But basically they're the same. But just a little information on Ace. I'm gonna go over a few key points with you, and so that we have a general idea of what to expect when you're coming over here. What, you know, like the pay, the experience, any bonuses, where they run, how orientation goes, the employee status, so on and so forth. So let's get into it. So the pay, the thing we care most about. If you are a VL driver who is switching over to Ace, you will get your same pay that you made over at the VL, just moved over to the Ace side. Okay, so you know, don't have to worry about that. If you have a bonus and you had a bonus structure set up, they're just gonna move it right over for you. Now, if you're a brand new driver coming into Ace off the street, haven't been with VL, you will be starting at 60 cents per mile with no endorsements. Now, you will be at 65 cents with endorsements, hazmat and tanker. Okay, so now I was told by a commenter recently that he came over to Ace, never went on VL, and got more than 65 cent per mile. So whenever you call, basically ask them, because they'll give you more accurate information than I have. But I was talking to a recruiter literally yesterday, and this is what the information they told me. So when you call, ask what the pay actually is, and then you'll have your numbers, basically. You know, you can come into companies, start at 60 cent, get your hazmat tanker endorsement like I did recently, just because I wanted to have that extra skill, and I wanted to get that bump in pay. So it's great for me. And come over to the company, work on getting your hazmat tanker endorsements to get the pay. You should have your hazmat tanker endorsements anyway, because if you ever do decide, because I'm trying to give y'all advice, do decide to go back locally, hazmat and tanker is gonna help you in pay, trust me. Also guys, there will be a link down below to Elite ELDT, which is a hazmat training course. It's all videos. It's like one of the only all video courses that I'm aware of. And you know, because of the FMCSA stipulation that you have to have the theory course, now this is a course that you can just literally watch on the road. You know, not watch on the road, but listen to on the road, so you can pass your hazmat test, so you can come over here and get a little bit of a bump in pay. So the requirements basically are pretty much the same as they were for VL. So with Ace, you know, you gotta have 6 months experience to start driving here. No more than 3 moving violations in the last 3 years. No more than 2 accidents in the last 3 years. And also, I believe they said, if I'm not quite mistaken, but they don't want you to have any felonies in the last 10 years. But again, these are probably stipulations. If you are watching this video and you have a felony or a misdemeanor or anything like that, call them up, tell them your situation, tell them what you did, and then they'll make a determination. You got to remember, not asking is keeping you in a box. You have to ask so you have the information to know if you can be with this company or not, so on and so forth. But a side note to that, if you are a brand new driver and you just got out of trucking school with your CDL and you have less than 6 months experience, but you know somebody over here at Ace, you can, or you know, Ace and VL, remember the sister companies, and you know them, you can, and they are basically, you can go and get in their truck if they're willing to take you and run teams with them. Now you're making the decent pay over here at Ace, instead of having to work your way through you know, all these different companies, starting at like 28 cent split, like tearing. And also, from what I've been told, it will be a in-person orientation in Chicago, Illinois, basically at the same location that the VL headquarters was. So, you know, Des Plaines, Illinois, you get your own flight out there, and they reimburse you on your flight. And they do reimburse you. They also reimburse you on a couple other things for the truck in case you need it, so on and so forth. Also, it is a 1099 position. Y'all guys need to know this is 1099. There will be no benefits, no health, no life, no none of that. Side note, I am working on getting my life insurance license. Also to offer some of you guys some life insurance and eventually move on to health. But just putting that out there, moving on. Also, if you're a new driver coming in, ACE is offering a $5,000 sign-on bonus. You get $2,500 the first 90 days, after your first 90 days, and then another $2,500 at your year anniversary. You also get bonuses for things like DOT inspections. If it's a level 1 and you pass, you get $300. If it's level 2 and you pass, you get $200. Level 3, you get $100. You get the drift there. But also, if you have any violations, they do charge you. Just so y'all guys know, they will charge you. I don't know if this was on the ACE side, but on the VL side, if y'all did not know that they charge y'all for certain violations, I remember they told me it was like $500. Just kind of keep that in mind. If you are going to call ACE to try and apply, I recommend that you might want to ask about that, just so you have further clarification. Now, I just want to touch on something real quick, guys. If you are a driver in California or North Carolina, also, like Alaska and Hawaii, but anyway, these are the lower 48, right? California, North Carolina, they do not hire out of those states. I honestly think that might have something to do with, I know California with the AB5, no 1099 employees. I don't know about North Carolina. I haven't heard anything about North Carolina having that kind of stipulation, so I don't exactly know why they don't hire out of North Carolina. But just kind of keep that in mind. Now, I'm not gonna say who told me this, but if you are in one of those two states, North Carolina or North Carolina or California, if you know somebody in another state that you can update your license to their address to hire you. A little loophole nugget, take it out how you want it. But I'm just saying, so, let's say you live in North Carolina and you know somebody that will let you use their address that lives in, say, Tennessee, Virginia, or South Carolina. There's a little plug for you, okay? For you guys that are wondering if ACE has a lease purchase program or lease program, so on and so forth, right now they do not. Now, it's under advisement that they are looking into how to incorporate that into the ACE division. Now, the ACE company. But now, don't let that hold you back, because you could come to ACE, be here on the company side, learn if you never had 1099 before, learning the 1099 situation. Also, I'm debating on making like a little, mini video, like mastermind thing for people to know how to handle like 1099 and how to set that up and handle it and so on and so forth. Because a lot of people, when I was actually at the terminal for a couple of days, I had met some drivers. One of them was actually a subscriber of mine, by the way. So if you're watching this, shout out to you, man. I think his name was Adam. There you go. There's shout out Adam. But I met a couple drivers, and only one had a 1099 situation before at another Chicago company, but he didn't really do very well at it, I believe he said, and he didn't like the situation. But then he came over to to try to come over to VL, got put in the ACE division, and so on and so forth. But they don't know a lot about 1099 positions and a lot about how it works, because so basically what 1099 is it's a independent contractor. Basically what that means is that the main company that you are working under has passed the tax burden. Sorry about that, guys. Got cut off. I don't know what happened, but as we were saying, basically the main company that you work for has passed the tax burden onto you. What that means is, say a company had $50,000 that they paid out to you through working for them, driving as a 1099 company driver, right? So basically what that means is the $50,000 has now, that they would have paid tax on to the government, that responsibility now falls to you to pay the tax on that $50,000. The benefit of it, though, however, is that now you get to have deductions, you get to have write-offs, you get to have tax credits, so on and so forth. You get to basically deduct from that income at the end of the day. Now what that means is that any business expense that you have occurred, say over the road in doing the position, is now a write-off. So basically you can set up a LLC or just having a business bank account. I recommend that you get the LLC because I want y'all one day to own a house. So I need y'all to set up an LLC, learn the intricacies of that, and I'm gonna make more videos on this, so you will have me to come to when you want to know these different things. The guys that were there when I was at the terminal, they learned how much I know, and I hope y'all guys are watching this. Adam, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say this. So we will learn. I'll teach you the intricacies of the LLC part, but basically, set up the business account, checking account, take the debit card, and anything that you do on the road is now an expense, a deduction for you to lower that taxable burden of the say $50 as for the example, $50,000 as for the example. Now, I've done 1099 for the last, I want to say, 3 years of my trucking career. So I've learned how to delegate those issues. And I had a tax situation happen at the very first year, but through that situation, I learned how to take care of that, how to mitigate the burden. The phone I'm using right now to record this video on for you guys is a tax write-off. So you can do the same. Your phone is a write-off. You use your phone as a 1099 driver for business needs, okay? Understand that. You are a business, okay? Whether you like it or not, you took this 1099 position, you are now a business. Point blank, period. I don't care what nobody says about it, okay? Now, if you are very unsure about the 1099 position, something to kind of alleviate your skepticisms or your fears of 1099 with the tax burden, whenever you do your taxes, you could just set up a payment plan with the government. So last year I owed $12,000. I went to my wife, who at the time was a tax agent for Liberty Tax. Okay, so I know the plug on that one. So again, I have the information, guys. If y'all really want it, I can give it to you. But anyway, she basically took my taxes from $12,000. That would have been, the tax. So I think I made like, I don't remember how much in net that I made, but the taxable portion of that would have been $12,000. She was able, through the intricacies of the tax code, lowered that to $2,100 for me. And then guess what? All I did was set up a payment plan with the government to pay that $2,100. Yeah. So anyway, also that helped me fight some child support stuff.